Hi there. I'm Keith Sones. I'm with Accepted Utility Strategies, and today I'd like to talk to you about transmission projects. They're pretty much in the headlines every day in our seemingly energy-starved countries around the world. More specifically, I'd like to talk to you about transmission project costs and how we can save money. On the surface, it looks pretty straightforward, but there are some really important nuances that I want to really highlight. First things first, I know a lot of great people that work in this industry, constructors, engineers, procurement specialists, utility executives, all doing a wonderful job. This is not about any of them. This is about process. Secondly, before my colleagues jump down my throat too heartily for taking a look at these numbers and saying, that's not correct, these are orders of magnitude. These can vary significantly depending on terrain, distance, voltage type, a variety of different factors. So let's go with these numbers because it will make the point. Last thing, this is an EPC or an engineer procure construct estimate. So this is typically what would go out to the market. They would come back with various prices for various project types, and roughly speaking, you're going to see these numbers. I'll get into why this is important in just a minute. Now, on the surface, the process looks pretty straightforward. You design something, you buy the material, and you erect it. Sounds good, right? However, a good engineer will design something really well, but he won't necessarily, or she won't necessarily understand the nuances and the importance of certain construction methods and the effect of both materials and design that can have on this rather large cost relative to what it costs here. In other words, it's better to spend a bit more time here having these folks interact with these folks and perhaps the procurement specialists before they finalize their design. Let me give you an example of why that's important. I recall years ago, we were constructing a transmission line that included a wide river valley. So we had to span that river valley. Initially, the engineer said, let's put 3 structures, 1, 2, 3, to support the wire. At some point in the process, somebody decided to optimize, focusing on reducing material costs. That makes sense. What they did is they took 3 of those structures, they designed 2 different structures in slightly different locations. Sounds good, you save the cost of 1 structure. But what they didn't take into consideration was the fact that those 2 structures were helicopter access only versus the 3 that were originally there that you could drive to. Therefore, the construction costs increase significantly, and it also affects future maintenance because if you're fogged out or if you have to hire a helicopter in order to get to that structure to maintain it, it's a lot more expensive and time-consuming and cumbersome. So what seemed like a good decision here significantly influenced the cost down here, and the actual project increased in cost. It didn't decrease. This can easily be overcome. It's really simple. It has to be a collaborative process. These folks have to talk with these folks and include these folks very early in the process, in the design, before anything's been done. Get them in, get them involved, have those discussions, because if you save a little bit or spend a little bit more time up here, it's not a big deal. But if you influence a lot down here, or even here, you're talking about a significant cost deviation. If you'd like to learn more or discuss this in more detail, please get in touch. Once again, I'm Keith Sones. I'm with Accepted Utility Strategies. Have a great day.